Hello Unlockers. This week we were looking at finding peace, and so today I wanted to show you a short body scan meditation. That's today's bite-sized video. Now I know there's probably already resistance to this because a lot of ADHDers feel that meditation isn't for them because it's been sold to you as a way to empty your mind of all thoughts, which naturally, as an ADHDer, we have extremely busy minds, so this just feels like a completely impossible task, and why would we even bother? Fair enough. However, I'd quite like to challenge your conception of meditation in this video because it doesn't necessarily have to be about trying to empty your mind. Chasing a state of peace is what that sounds like, but what I'm going to try and do is give you the opportunity to practice observing your internal states without trying to change them. So we're not going to be trying to chase peace, we're going to just see if it comes just by trying to accept what's happening. So all the exercise is going to be is just doing a body scan where we scan down through our body and we're observing and noting any sensations that arise within the body, as well as any thoughts and feelings that may pop in. We're just going to note them and observe them without trying to change them, without trying to get involved in them, and without trying to identify strongly with them. Ironically, for many people, this actually brings about a sense of peace, because the most frustrating thing for them when they were sort of feeling all this frustration was that they were actually resisting the state that they were in rather than accepting it. Now, this technique won't be for everybody, and if you're feeling overwhelmed right now, it might be wise to look at a different self-care tool just for now, or maybe wait until you're feeling a bit more open and resilient. And also just to note that this exercise isn't particularly easy, but it is simple. So if you're ready to try out the exercise, just get yourself into a position where you're feeling fairly comfortable. Try not to move during the exercise if you can. We can use the fact that we want to move and the sensations that arise within us when we feel fidgety, maybe as an opportunity to try to not change our state of being. So it could be potentially a learning opportunity. But if you do need to move and you just can't stop yourself, then that's okay. So get yourself into a position where you're feeling fairly comfortable, and then you're going to start by just taking 3 big deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just notice the sensation of either your feet touching the ground or the seat of your body touching the chair that you're sitting in, wherever you're at. Just that sensation of contact. And while you're noticing this sensation, I want you to imagine that it's almost like you're touching a feather to the side of a glass. It's just really light, just noting, without getting too involved in the sensation or trying to change what you're finding there. And then just taking note in the same way if there's any particular feeling present at the moment. It might be joy, sadness, anger, boredom, restlessness. And again, with this same lightness, just noting that it's there and trying not to identify too strongly. We're just taking the position of a witness. And now we're going to start the body scan, so starting at the top of the head, we're going to scan all the way down through the body. If you want to stop at any point, you can. We're going to start at the top of the head, and again just noting any sensations that are arising in this area. Gently noticing without trying to change anything that's happening. As we move down through the head, Again, noticing any sensations. It might be itching, heat, cold, tickling, pain. Whatever we find is okay. Not trying to change it. Moving down through the shoulders and down the arms. Again, just bearing witness to any sensations that arise without trying to change anything. You might notice sensations changing. This is further proof that everything is in flux and flow. We don't need to hold on to any particular state of being. If you find that your thoughts are interrupting you, or you're getting distracted, don't punish yourself for that, because that's totally normal. Just bring your attention gently back to whichever part of the body you're on. So I'm working our way all the way down to the fingertips, noticing any sensations that arise. You can look at each individual fingertip. And then moving down when you're ready, through the chest area and the upper back. Noticing any sensations arising in this area. And again, remembering that anything that we find is allowed to be there. Moving down to the lower back and the stomach area. What sensations are arising in these areas? Are they changing? Can we observe them changing? Maybe you can't feel anything at all, maybe it's just numb. See if you can just observe the numbness. That's okay too. Moving down through the pelvic area into the upper legs. And again, if you get distracted, it's not a problem. It's what the mind does, and it's okay. When you notice that you've been distracted, just bring your attention gently back to the sensations that you're trying to note and observe. Just because you've been distracted does not mean you are a bad meditator. It's all part of the practice. You might be moving through the knees and into the lower parts of the legs now. So just noticing anything that's arising in these areas. And if you can, letting any tension go. Moving into the feet. Working your way all the way to the tips of the toes. Now just checking in with how the body feels as a whole. Checking if it feels any different from when you first started. Maybe it feels more still. Maybe it feels more agitated. Anything that you're feeling is okay. The practice is not about emptying or pacifying. It's about accepting what's there. letting it be. And of course this takes practice, but we can thank ourselves in this moment that we were open to trying out this exercise, to checking in with ourselves. Pay ourselves thanks for giving ourselves a bit of time to do this for our own self-care. Now, just taking one final big deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Hearing the sounds around you, readjusting back into the everyday, and whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes again. So I hope that that proved useful for you and maybe showed you that meditation doesn't have to be about trying to change something or trying to be somebody that you're not, but about maybe recognising who you are and where you're at in this moment and telling yourself that maybe that is okay. I certainly feel a little bit more calm for guiding you through that, so I hope it was useful for you.